Good morning to everyone. Myself Shano and I'm studying in Srinivasa Ramanujan Institution of Technology in ECE branch in C section. My roll number was 25401A04A1. Today I'm going to giving a video presentation on the topic iterative statements. Iterative statements. Subtopics. First one is introduction to iterative statements. Second one is purpose of iterative statements. And third one was types of iterative statements. And we need to discuss about uh, some examples. First one is the for loop and while loop, do while loop, syntax examples and common uses cases and best practices and tips and summary. Introduction to iterative statements. Iterative statements are programming constructs that repeat a block of code multiple times. అంటే మల్టిపుల్ టైమ్స్ రిపీట్ చేస్తూ ఉంటాం. ఇటరేటివ్ స్టేట్మెంట్స్ ఆర్ ఆల్సో నోన్ యాజ్ రిపిటేటివ్ స్టేట్మెంట్స్. ఇటరేటివ్ స్టేట్మెంట్స్ రిపిటేటివ్ స్టేట్మెంట్స్ కూడా అని అనొచ్చు. They are essential for automating repetitive tasks and managing large data sets of efficiently. Understanding how to use iterative statements is fundamental for writing effective and concise programs. Purpose of iterative statements. The primary purpose is to execute a block of code repeatedly until a specific condition is met. They help reduce redundancy by avoiding the need to write similar code multiple times. And iterative statements enable program to handle dynamic data sizes and complex repetitive process smoothly. Types of iterative statements. There are some common types of iterative statements including for loop, while loop, do while loops. Each type serves different scenarios based on the condition checking and execution flow. And choosing the right type depends on the specific requirements of the task at hand. There are two types of iterative statements. First one is exit control statements. These loops execute the body first and check the condition after the execution. Like simple definition, like in these statements the condition will be checked after the execution of statements. అంటే ఆఫ్టర్ ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ అయినాక that condition will be checked after execution. And in these statements will be executed at least one time. ఒక్కసారైనా ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ కావాలి. For example, for exit control loops, do while loops. Loop body runs at least once even if the condition is false. Second one is entry control loops. These loops check the condition first before execution the body. If the condition is true, only then the loop runs. Which means in this condition is checked before executing the statements. స్టేట్మెంట్స్ని ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ చేయకముందే మనకి కండిషన్ అనేది చెక్ చేస్తుంది అన్నమాట. ఎగ్జాంపుల్స్ ఫర్ ఎంట్రీ కంట్రోల్ లూప్స్. దెర్ ఆర్ two examples for entry control statements. First one is for loop and second one is while loop. Condition checked first, and if condition is false initially, loop will not run even once. If condition is false అంటే కండిషన్ ఫాల్స్ అయితే లూప్ ఒక్కసారి కూడా రన్ అవ్వదు అనమాట. ఫస్ట్ we discussed about the for loop. The for loop used when the number of iterations is known beforehand. It includes initialization, condition and increment decrement expressions in its syntax. For loops. For loops are ideal for iterating over arrays of fixed ranges of numbers. The for loop syntax is for loop first initialization and condition and next increment or decrement, then will be statements. This is the for loop. And next while loop. The while loop executes as long as condition remains true. It is suitable when the number of repetition is unknown and it depends on a condition. The condition is evaluated before each iteration which might lead to zero execution it if false initially. We'll write a syntax for while loop, initialization, while conditions, then statements and updation, and it will be into next statements. First, while the condition is true, then will be a block of statements will be executed, or that is false, and the next statements will be executed. The do while loop. Do while loop. Do while loop guarantees at least one time execution of the block before condition checking. It checks the condition after executing the loop body. This type is useful when the loop body must run at least once regardless of the condition, which means first do while syntax, initialization and do, then statements and updation, and while the condition is true and statements will be performed at least once regardless of the condition. And next one is for syntax examples. Example of a for loop. For int, we initializing this int I equals to 0 and I less than 10 and incrementing I plus plus and code. We discussed about for example for while loop. We have so many examples for while loop, like writing a C program, sum of n natural numbers and product of n natural numbers. An example for loops, find even numbers and in given range using for loops. Common use cases. Iterative statements are used in processing arrays and collections. So they are essential in implementing algorithms like searching and sorting. They facilitate user input validation by repeating prompts until valid data is entered. Best practices and tips. Always ensure the loop conditions will eventually become false to prevent infinite loops. Use meaningful variable names to improve code readability. Test loops with boundary conditions to ensure they behave as expected in all scenarios. Summary. Iterative statements are powerful tools for repeating tasks efficiently in and programming. Known when and how to use for loop, while loop, and do while loops in crucial for control between. అంటే మనకు తెలుస్తుంది ఫర్ లూప్ వైల్ లూప్ ఎలా యూజ్ చేయాలనేది, అండ్ ఇట్ ఈస్ వెరీ ఈజీ యూజింగ్ ఫర్ లూప్, వైల్ లూప్స్ అండ్ డూ వైల్ లూప్స్. And next one is proper implementation of iterative statements leads to clear, more effective and maintainable code. Thank you so much giving this wonderful opportunity to me. Thank you to everyone.